It sort of seems like a waste of time for every generation to start from scratch and make their own experiences. It would be easier if the experience of the parents or grandparents would be engraved in the brain of the children. The time goes like a river with great speed, and all of a sudden you find yourself 100 years old. It seems to me that only a few years ago I was middle-aged, and only a few years ago I was a child. So transformations occur much quicker than you think.
Dr. Bing's fame as a cardiologist, composer, author is known throughout the world. He has courageously demonstrated his motto that the worst is yet to come, while at the same time evidencing an enormous curiosity about that future. We are grateful to be here today to help celebrate the 100th birthday of our beloved Papa, Father, Grandfather, and great-grandfather.
The LA Philharmonic, they come every year for my birthday and bring their instruments and play some music that they and I like, and that's usually Mozart or Beethoven. I was born on October 12, 1909, in a town in southern Germany called Nuremberg. I left Nuremberg when I was 18 to go to medical school in Munich. 1934, everything fell to pieces. I was sitting there sipping tea, and the waiters came and said, Doctor, the Fuera is coming. So, you know, Hitler. And I went out the back door. And on the next day, I took a train to Switzerland, and I haven't been back. I got my MD degree again from the University of Bern in Switzerland, because I was afraid that the one in Munich might not sit well with the American authorities. I came to America on a visa which the Rockefeller Foundation gave me. They took me in, they made it possible for me to do my research. America to me meant unlimited opportunity. I had the feeling that here I could really spread my wings. I worked a good deal with Lindbergh because he and Alexis Carrel had built this equipment which kept organs alive outside the body. This is Charles Lindbergh. He was always nice, but he was misguided in his political views. When I came to New York and took the position at Columbia, Mary worked in the Department of Surgery. We dated, and after 2 months, I married, and she was the boss's daughter, which is a disaster in itself. We were married 52 years.
No, that's lovely.
I joined the Army Medical Corps during the Second World War. Not the first, I like you to know. And then the Surgeon General sent me to Germany. I was made a lieutenant colonel. The State Department in Washington sent me to Greece and Bulgaria and Romania. I speak Danish, French, Italian, German, and English, sometimes. In cardiology, I'm known because there's a disease named after me. It's called Taussig-Bing disease. They call me whatever that is.
The father of
the illegitimate father of cardiac metabolism. Johns Hopkins, I was the first in the world to build a department of diagnosis based on the heart catheter. I was 93 when I retired. I worked very hard because it was either become well known or sink into oblivion. Writing music was another very important part of my life. It helped me to get over difficult times. The illness of my wife and the death of my daughter, that helped me a great deal. Medical research and music have in common the drive to create. The desire to create is really a desire to see something that has been invisible and you try to make visible. In the beginning of the writing, I think this is awful, I should give it up. But if you persist and go over the bad hump, then things turn out wonderful. There was a performance last week in Nuremberg, the place of my birth, of a string quartet I had written. When it's well performed, the blemishes become almost insignificant. 1 year ago, I wrote my autobiography, Fuera. But when I look at it now, I don't like it because it has an emphasis on myself, on my work. And for heaven's sake, that's not so important, Fuera. It means really away with it. I mean, if you want to throw some letters away, you say Fuera. The fleeting pictures and images, they are Fuera because they all disappear. They all go away. I have learned that nothing in this life is permanent, that we always go on a course of up and downs. There are situations which at the moment appear unsurmountable, and if you weather those and go on, there comes a time when these apparently big mountains, they shrink and become finally only molehills. I had a full life, and what matters, I think, is that you learn tolerance. Tolerant to your colleagues, to your family, and eventually to your enemies. Thank you very much. I think of all the pleasure in life, probably to me the greatest pleasure was my family, my children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. They resonate all your life. They never disappear.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Summarize your life in one word. What word would you pick?
Thanks.